I'm going to talk about the power of gamification. So the reason I chose to show off the English-based tutorials in Japan. So once again, let me introduce myself. My name is Daizen Ikehara. I'm a developer evangelist for a company called Twilio. Here's my email, so you can reach me out to the ikehara@twilio.com. Or I use the Neri78 as IDs for Twitter, Twitch, GitHub. So you can scan these QR codes and follow me on any channels that you want to follow. So today I have 25 minutes. So I'm going to talk about what is Twilio, what is Twilio Quest, because this is going to be the base information before me talking about Japan. Then next, I'm going to talk about why I chose to show this game in Japan, and the last one is to the insight from my experiment, what worked, what not worked, and what I'm going to do next. So if you have any question, you can drop the question in Slido. I think there's a Q&A time, so I can answer questions. So first one is, what is Twilio? What is Twilio Quest? So my company Twilio provides a lot of the APIs that empowers communications. So we provide APIs for SMS, voice, email, video, chat, everything about communication. Now we have the more than 8 million developers sign up for the account. Also, we have the 190,000 businesses, and we provide services over the 100 countries, including Japan and Singapore or Australia in this region. So how Twilio works is very simple. Let's say the person sends text to Twilio phone number, then Twilio reaches the HTTP request to your application. So you can write response based on the incoming message. So in this example, I write hi as a response, then actual hi text is sent to the person's phone. So this means you can program your response, you can program your communication with the Twilio. So this is pretty powerful platform, I think. But we have a lot of products. So this is a kind of one of the marquee slide I took from my corporate pitch deck. So we provide not only for SMS and the voice APIs and too many stuff. So I joined the Twilio last October, and I was overwhelmed right away because I didn't expect that Twilio has so many stuff, to talk about. So I needed to learn the things, not only for the SMS and voice, but also the other platforms or other channels. And I assure that other people have the same problem. When you get to the Twilio platform, you need to learn everything, but how? One answer is we provide documentation. Our documentation team is pretty good, so we provide a lot of information with the documentation. But like me, I don't read documentation. I don't really read documentation actually. So whenever you want to learn first things, you want to get to like a SMS, quick start, or you want to see the demos. So even you have the great documentation, there's a problem for new users to be onboarding. So our developer education team decided to create a game-based tutorial called Twilio Quest. So you can download Twilio Quest at www.twilio.com/quest. It's a free download. You can learn Twilio Quest on your Windows PC, Mac OS, or Linux. And there's no charge, so you can learn new things with this game. And I'm going to show a couple of the screenshots from the Twilio Quest. So in the Twilio Quest, you move your avatar with the red in the screen. You move the player operator, and you are actually one of the members of the special group, and that group is trying to fight with the shadow organization called Legacy System. So we use the cloud power to defeat those shadow organizations. And this is a training mission for the Twilio Quest. And you can choose any kind of the missions that are available in a game. So the Twilio Quest provides not only for the Twilio product tutorials, but also programming languages like JavaScript, PHP, or Python, or even GitHub. So you can learn how to use GitHub with the Twilio Quest. So I think this is the powerful stuff for new users, especially when you get started on the programming. You don't have to learn about the Twilio. You can learn about the JavaScript or PHP. Actually, I've never used a Python or PHP before joining the company, but now I'm learning those languages with the Twilio Quest. And you can move each mission. There's challenges. And this is one of the challenges that we provide. So, there's a challenge for you and there's a rewards. So you can get experience points and also the items when you overcome the challenge. And you can tweak your avatar with the items. So right now, my avatar has a green lightsaber, also the red jacket. We call that track jacket. And I have a red shoes, and I have an owl on my shoulder. So you can tweak your avatar based on the items that you get from challenges. So this is kind of the gamification. You learn new stuff, and you get items that you can tweak your character. So I think this is working well. So if you want to learn more about the Twilio Quest itself, there's a talk last year at the DeveloperCon 2019. One of my colleagues, Andrew Baker, who leads the developer education team, talked about why we create this game, what happens in the future. So I highly encourage you to look at these videos. So now you know what the Twilio is and what the Twilio Quest is. The main topic for today for me is why I chose to show the Twilio Quest in Japan and what I did. Yeah, this is the fun part. First of all, I love games. You can tell me that because I'm sitting on that gaming chair. Also, this is the screenshot from my favorite game called EverQuest. It's not Twilio Quest, but it's EverQuest. So this is MMORPG. I started this in 2000 August. So the character has 20 years old. It's actually older than my son. So this is my first son, born 20 years ago. And you can notice that I played this game for 537 days. It doesn't mean I started 1.5 years ago. It means I spent 1.5 years of my entire life with this game. So you know how much I'm into this game. So I love games. So I like the Twilio Quest concept, Twilio game itself. So this is the number one reason I chose to show off the game to the Japanese audiences. Second one, in Japan, there are a lot of famous games available. So I had my assumptions. First one is the concept of the game is well established and accepted by the audience in Japan. So there are famous games, Super Mario Bros., Zelda, Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. So people used to be playing game in the childhood, or even some adults play games in Japan. So I know that people like game in Japan. So it could be biased, but as long as I saw the people around myself or people from the developer community, I think they like games. And second assumption from my side is people don't read instructions when they start a game. So I ask you to think about when you get a new game stuff, do you really read an instruction book before you trying to play? I don't. So I thought languages may not be a problem to play the game for Japanese audiences. So these are two assumptions, and I decided to show this game into the Japan. So I chose one of the conferences in Japan to show off the game. So it happened in February this year. This is actually the last conference I went to physically. So it's been 5 months. So I chose to show the Twilio Quest to the audience in this conference. And what I did was to talk about the Twilio Quest in my session, present the Twilio Quest at the booth, tweeting a lot about the Twilio Quest during the conference time. So I hope that people got interested in and people tried to play. But there's a big, big wall in front of me, a language barrier. If you don't speak or read English, and even though my assumption is you don't read instructions when you play game, but I thought language is one of the barrier that you need to overcome for people to play. So I decided to create a Japanese mission just to understand how to play Twilio Quest, because the Twilio Quest provides a basic mission for you to learn how to play Twilio Quest. So people don't read instruction, but people learn from tutorial how to play Twilio Quest. Then the people can try other tutorials. So I thought, this is not fair for Japanese people to let them read English tutorials to learn how to play Twilio Quest. So I created the Japanese version for the event specifically. Also, I created a new map for the event. The red wall actually replicates the event venue. So the place where the developer summit was held. So people feel the sympathy, when they play the Twilio Quest. So these are my experiments on what I did in February, and I can tell you what worked, what were not worked, and I'm going to what's next. So first one is what worked. Actually, a bunch of people tried to play game. So this is a leaderboards on the event. So I set the event for Twilio Quest so people can join the event during the event time. So I saw many people tried Twilio Quest. I didn't anticipate that or expect those many people tried Twilio Quest because it's English based. Even though the Japanese basic mission, everything is UI still English. So I'm happy that I get this result with these people. Also, 2 people actually completed all missions in a basic mission. So they dropped by the booth to say to me, that, hey, I completed these missions. It's great. So I was very happy about that too. So now I know, even it's English, if the concept or content is good, then Japanese people play. But how about what's not worked? This is an interesting one. So I got 3 challenges. First one is regulatory compliance and the country-specific limitations. Because Twilio provides phone numbers to the people, in some countries, they need to provide their identity in order to purchase the phone numbers. Unfortunately, Japan is one of them. So you need to provide driver's license or passport to Twilio to be reviewed with your identity with the others. So it takes some time. Also, some product doesn't support Japanese phone number. So the Twilio Quest got affected by those limitations. So I thought this is one of the blockers. And if I want to bring the Twilio Quest to Japan, I need to solve the problem. But I'm glad that I found out with this experiment. Also, language is still a blocker for many people. I provided a Japanese basic tutorial, but people still expect the full Japanese version. So one of the players said to me, it's great. I can't wait for the Japanese version. So I was like, okay, I'm trying. So yeah, there's an expectation for the Japanese version in the market. So if you have the good content in English, good blog, good samples in English, still people want to have the Japanese version. So you need to deal with that in a Japanese country. Also, I found the side effects for games. So this was actually discussed even with the English one. So Twilio Quest is a game-themed tutorial. So people like game is okay, but what if they wear a suit and wear a tie and go to the office? Can they play the game inside of the office? I don't think so. So if we want to pursue those developers or the people who wear suit, we need to take another approach, not like a Twilio Quest. So these three challenges I need to overcome, or I found from my experiment. So I think I have a few more minutes, so I'm going to talk about what's next, my future plan with the Twilio Quest in Japan. First one, I started commentary blog posts in Japanese. So in the event, I provided Japanese tutorial missions, but also I started providing the Japanese blog with the Twilio Quest, how to play or background story about shadow organization, also how to sign up a Twilio account so that people can read my blog post and play English version of the Twilio Quest. Second one is I started the streaming from April. So like Mish, the previous speaker, I'm doing the streaming every Tuesday and every Thursday. So every Tuesday I set like a Twilio Quest night or gaming Tuesday, and I'm sharing my playing with the Twilio Quest. So this is a screenshot of me learning how to code PHP, and now I know the comparison values in the PHP is it's very pain. So I'm sharing my failure, my success during my streaming. So I hope everyone can see, or people who interested in the Twilio Quest can look at what I do during my play. Also, I started supporting the community. So one of the user community for Japan for Twilio wanted to do an online event in July. So it happened actually 2 weeks ago. So I supported providing Zoom accounts or creating events for them and providing the swags kind of things. So it was great time for everyone playing Twilio Quest. So I want to expand that experience to Japan. So now I'm planning to new events. We're planning to support the community who wants to have the event with the Twilio Quest. So here, here my summary. So I talked about Twilio Quest and why I chose to show off the game themed tutorials in Japan. First one is game can help new users onboarding regardless of the languages. So people don't read documentation. People don't like to read instructions. So let them experience something fun and learn your stuff. So this is the one big success for the Twilio Quest, I believe. Also, I reconfirmed localization of any level is a key to success for small or big win in the country. So if I didn't provide the Japanese basic mission, I wouldn't have gotten that many people sign up for the event at the Developers Summit. So my advice for the other peers for the world, if you have the good content, get some help from the local. It's okay for to have the local English contents or non-Japanese contents, but have somebody write about that in Japanese. That works well for the first success. Then after that, you can talk with your manager while you're talking with a company for the budget for the localization. And the last one is to having that great tool to have fun with your community. So I see the big success in Japan with the Twilio Quest, with the language support or supporting community. So I see the big future with the Twilio Quest in Japan. So that's all for my talk. And if you are interested in working with the Twilio, actually, we have the developer evangelist positions open in Brazil, France, and the US. So you can scan each one of them or everything, all three QR codes and apply to the Twilio. And if you want to know more about the Twilio and how the evangelists work at the Twilio, you can DM me or ask your Twilio developer evangelist friends because we spread it all over the world, US or UK or everywhere, one person in Melbourne as well. So if you have any question, please let us know. And that's all for my talk. And thank you for having me. And have a great day or night or evening.
Thank you, Daizen. Have a great session. Thank you again. So, Taiji, please tell Daizen what questions you have for slide. Please take a look.
Sure. Hey, Daizen, thank you for your good presentation. And I can pick some questions up for you. The first question is, let me see. Okay. Did you create Twilio Quest as in-house development? If yes, do you have also gaming programmer in Twilio? Oh, I see.
Yes, this Twilio Quest was built in-house, and we have the team for Twilio Quest inside of the developer education team. And lead programmer is, I don't know whether he is a game programmer, but he loves games. So yeah, his name is Kevin Winery. He sometimes streaming on the Twitch as well. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's very interesting. I also want to how should I say, want to hire to our team as a gaming programmer. I think it's a good approach with gaming programmer for developer relations for our products, because of the IBM products is a very enterprise and very conservative, right? Yeah, but need to rebranding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. One good thing is actually Kevin Winery was one of the evangelists in the past. Wow. Then he rejoined the team as a gaming programmer. So it might be a different story to hiring a pure gaming programmer, but still, it's good to have someone who focuses on the Twilio Quest itself.
I see. Interesting. Okay, so I'd like to ask you the one more question from slide. Okay, how has Twilio developer business been changed clearly by spreading Twilio Quest quite different between US and Japan?
So I need to clarify though. Developer business. We don't talk about business, but we can say the user base or the signups or retention. So with the Twilio Quest, we can get many signups, all over the world. And during this pandemic, people are staying at home, so the number of the users of the Twilio Quest actually increased quite significantly. Even I got the stats from Japan. I noticed that we have increased the number of the signups or sessions on the Twilio Quest page. So I don't think that business is directly related to the Twilio Quest because we don't sell product through the Twilio Quest. More like we provide a tool that people can learn new things with the fun, and they happen to be customer sometimes somewhere. So that's our strategy, I believe.
See. So I also think need to Geo, US and Japan, it's pretty different culture they have. So you said that in your presentation, in Japan company, it's hard to play the game in office, right? Yeah, but US company for of US or almost US IT company, they accept to play any games during their business time as a having break, right? So
Yeah.
it's very different culture. So this question is a very good point, I think.
Yeah. Let me add one more thing.
Mhm.
I recognize the difficulty for Japan. A lot of Japan companies don't allow the employees to play game during the work hours.
Uh-huh.
So I created the classic style tutorial for Twilio for those business people, so that our sales team can use that material, and
Right.
we can use Twilio Quest for hackers. So I think in Japan there's the two types of the content required, not one.
Right.
But I would say this is not the only for Japan. Even in the US, people come to the Twilio event. People want to learn new things, but people didn't expect that playing game. So we got some complaints too. So we need to figure out the best way to serve those, several types of the developers.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I thought that it's the same situation. In Japan, over 20 years ago, we had the Excel based Mahjong game. Because of this, so uh, yes, it seems like it doesn't seem like game program, but actually it's a Mahjong game because it looks like just an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, it's very similar situation, I thought. Yeah, well, anyway.
So it's true.
Yeah. Okay. So we have no more question on slide 2. The other show, do you have any question more? Or if you have.
Yes. Yes. You have more 5 minutes.
Oh, I finished too early. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I mean the other show. If you have a few more questions, you can ask Daizen your question.
It's okay. So so I have no question.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's move to the cross the Daizen session, and thank you again, the Daizen-san.
I have a
Thank
question
you.
for Daizen.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, actually, Wataru has a question.
Yeah. Please
Sorry,
go ahead.
sorry. We have 5 more minutes.
Okay, thank you, Daizen. Sorry.
May
Sorry,
I?
now Wataru is
Do you have a
asking.
question?
Yeah.
Do you have
sorry.
any plan?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Daizen. Do you have any plan to expand this kind of gamification to more or update annually?
Do you mean by updating Twilio Quest or updating contents?
Updating Twilio Quests, and maybe the newer version of Twilio will come out. Then the content must be updated. So it was a maybe a 2019 versions, and maybe the next one gonna be 2020s or 2021's version will come out.
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. Actually, we are updating every few weeks. So it's not like a static game and a static content. We have the mechanism that we provide updated contents to the users. So we broadcast updates to the each users like a social game. We have the updates, we have a new scenario. So in the initial version, there was no PHP missions, but we added that to the Twilio Quest in May. So I think it's keep evolving, and I hope one day we have the Japanese version as well.